Oh, good morning. As you're taking a ride this morning on this Christmas holiday weekend. Next week, it'll be the New Year's holiday weekend. I guess it's good that the holiday falls kind of in the middle of the week. Christmas Eve on Wednesday and Thursday's Christmas, because people kind of get a half a day off on Wednesday. They get Thursday and Friday. A lot of people get Thursday and Friday off. And then, you know, I'll say it. The loser down in Washington declared 6 hours before the day started that Friday was a national holiday. But whatever the case may be, uh, it's nice to get kind of a relaxing week. Good morning to everybody. I see some people. I can see they're joining now. Uh, a lot of things to discuss on the show this morning. Marc Lawrence will also join us. But and hope you enjoyed the best of on Wednesday night. I saw a comment. Somebody said, all that stuff. All that stuff was to sell newspapers, uh, talking about Joey and his crimes, and uh, it's crazy. It is crazy. Lancaster County. I see Larry Mast scraping ice. Yep, it's ice underneath a little bit of snow. Um, Schwenksville, somebody joining from Schwenk. They joined from all over the place in the area, and it kind of in Florida and outside. Some people joined from outside the country. Whatever it is, the Eagles. It's another Eagles weekend. Uh, Last week the game was on Saturday. This week the game is. How about the NFL? They're so they love the fans so much. They love the fans so much that they schedule a 4:30 game in Buffalo at this time of the year. Are you kidding me? What appreciation do you have for the fans? It's dark at that time at this time of year. It's going to be cold, and I just looked at the weather forecast, and it's going to rain, or it's scheduled. It's forecast. Rain is forecast for the entire game. Isn't that, or periods of rain forecast for the entire game? What an amazing game that's going to be. I see somebody. Who is it? Rod Theracan Comics. Warm in Winter Haven, Florida. Yeah, I guess it is in Winter Haven, Florida. Um, but I love when the NFL schedules night games in the winter in Green Bay and Chicago, a 4:30 game in Buffalo. But whatever. They're going to have to play the game. It's the last kind of important, semi-important game for the Eagles. I don't think they can't get the number one seed, so they'll get. I mean, who knows what they're going to play, because you got to see how it all plays out. The team that you don't want to play, you don't want to play the Rams. I'm telling you right now, they've lost the last two times in Philadelphia. I don't think that's a good thing, because in the playoff game they played great. They screwed the game up this year. They should have won that game. They didn't, so the Eagles got the win out of it. But the Rams, I think the Rams are the toughest team. I don't think Seattle's the toughest team, although Seattle is good. I don't think they're the toughest team. So, but who would you rather see the Eagles play? Yeah, we're talking about the playoffs, so no sense. They're in the playoffs, so that's not a big deal. I mean, they're getting ready. Lane Johnson will not play again, and it's a good thing. He's not going to play this week, so he's not going to play next week. And just trying to get him ready for the playoff game. So, who would you rather see the Eagles play? What are you looking for? I mean, if it's raining on and off during the game, Buffalo's run defense is not very good. Buffalo's not as good a team this year. Too bad for Bills Mafia. But Buffalo's not as good a team this year as they were in previous years. Uh, They're not good against the run. They're just not a good defensive team for whatever reason. Also, uh, you know, I don't know if there's any more interesting gifts at Christmas, but if anybody wants to share something really great that they got for Christmas, hey, I'm all for it. I'll hear about your guests. Charles Barkley made a comment. It was asinine, but Charles can do that sometimes, and he doesn't. He doesn't care whether he makes asinine comments because it's Charles Barkley. I see a comment here from Dale. Are the Eagles playing the starters? As far as I know, that's what they're doing. They're going to play the starters, and I'm almost positive they're going to. Yeah, they're going to play the starters. So good morning to everybody there. But a favorite Christmas gift. We'll talk about the Phillies later in the show. What a boring, non-imaginative off season for the Phillies when they needed to improve, and they don't improve. Uh, Bryce Harper takes everything personally, so he posted a picture of himself in his batting cage where the picture said, or the T-shirt he had, it said "not elite." That's based on a comment that Dave Dombrowski made at the end of the season where he said he didn't have an elite season. Well, was there something wrong with that comment? It's just there wasn't anything wrong about that comment. We'll talk about that. Talk about a lot of things, and we'll talk to you. We will talk to you. I saw a message from somebody, Keith, who said he wanted to join the show. I think before we get into before I get into going and taking any callers or people that click in, it's just I want to tell you that I'm happy and overjoyed to have Jeff Stillwell and Stillwell Financial Advisors as the presenting sponsor of this fine program. Jeff knows his stuff. He's helped a lot of people financially because every day it almost seems uh, every day it seems like things change in the world of money and finance, and you gotta have somebody, or you gotta know what you're doing. And if you're not sure of that, Jeff Stillwell's the person to call. 732-343-0813. Thanks to Jeff Stillwell for being a fine partner and a presenting sponsor of this radio program. I see a couple of comments here. Harper is overrated. Well, I will say this about Harper, and hopefully we don't dwell on Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper was a very good player when he came to the Phillies. I would say he's a good player now, a good player, but he's not a great player. He's not great. And I think it's hard for players like that to accept it when things are just not the same. And you say, well, he's going to have a comeback year. I don't know. He's on the back end of his career. He's played, of his 13-year contract, I believe he's played 7 of those years with the Phillies. So he's got a lot. He's got 6 years left. He's not elite. He's not great, but he's good. He's a good player. And the Phillies need more than just good players, because what did they add to the lineup? They're going to replace Castellanos, and they're going to replace him with a player that's not going to do any better numbers-wise. But they made a move because they just want to get rid of Castellanos. Obviously, by not being able to trade him, or not having traded him yet, there's not a lot of people that want him right now. And the Phillies are going to have to eat a major, major portion of that contract. Also, I'm going to announce last week's winner shortly of the Oakley sunglasses. and the gift this week will be a Chickies and Pete's. The gift, the prize this week will be a Chickies and Pete's gift certificate. And I'll have a question for you towards the end of the show. If you answer that question correctly, submit it by Friday, January 2nd. Yes, 2026 of the new year. Watch the show on Saturday, the 3rd at 8 a.m. on X. I still call it Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube and you'll be notified. You kind of see when it comes up. The show comes up live when it comes up live on the other social media platforms. But YouTube, I know I get an email all the time, obviously, because I want to see how it works. And if you subscribe to YouTube, obviously, there's no cost involved. And you will be notified when the show comes on. And the winner, and there will be more than one person with the correct answer, the winner will be chosen at random from all the correct entries. All right, before we get to the people, let me tell you about some other people that are partners in the program. And one of them will be Piazza Property Pros. Piazza Property Pros, you know, they can really do a lot of good things for your house. They can do your front yard. They can dress up your front yard. They can dress up your backyard. They can do all kinds of things. It's not just pools. It's not just pools. It's not just landscaping. It's not just excavation. It's not just fencing. It's a lot of things. And Piazza Property Pros and Jim Piazza, um, Jim's a good guy, a really good guy, and he makes sure that everything looks great. Everything looks great. 25 years of experience. They don't subcontract. So call today to schedule a free consultation. 610 566 2608. 610 566 2608. And if you're looking for an automobile, um, I guess there's some people that buy automobiles as a Christmas gift for others. Nothing wrong with that. And right now at Audi Westchester, and the month of December is not much left. The month of December, financing on the remodeled 2025 Audi A5, 1.99% up to 72 months. On the Q5 SUV, 1.99% financing up to 72 months. Great selection of automobiles, nice new facility. Grab a cup of coffee, grab some snacks. You just have fun there while you're looking for an automobile, and you may decide to purchase one. Audi Westchester can help you out, and they will go through everything. The salespeople will help you. Audi Westchester, 1421 Wilmington Pike, and go out there and just take a look, whether you get a vehicle or not. And check them out, AudiWestchester.com. All right. So I did see Keith chime in there. Joe, is Keith there? Oh, Chris, I'm sorry. Chris, I thought it was Keith. Okay. All right. Let's go to, oh, I see. He sent a message here too. He said he managed to wake up early for the show this morning. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Good, Howard. How are you? It's finally nice to connect with you. You're one of the legends in sports, and I just started a new career in radio media 6 years ago, all self-taught. And I would just want to say thank you for bringing me on this morning.
Okay. All right. All right. So, what do you think about the Eagles game tomorrow?
It's gonna be tough. I think Buffalo always plays tough at Highmark Stadium. Obviously, you're facing Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's coming into this game with a foot injury. He suffered against the Browns. I saw that game.
Yeah, but he said he's okay. He's going to be fine.
So,
Yeah, he's going to be fine.
Josh Allen, obviously the big factor, but also James Cook. It's funny how the Bills have gone from 2 years ago to a passing offense to now they're running. I think they're leading the National Football League in running, and James Cook is having a Saquon type season with over 1,500 yards, and they got Ray Davis and Ty Johnson. So I think the Bills are going to come into this game and try to run the ball on the Eagles because the Buffalo Bills don't have the weapons wide receiver wise they did a couple
No.
years ago with Stephon Diggs.
And they've got it, and because of the weather, the Eagles are going to obviously the Eagles always try to run the ball because if they run the ball, then it gives them the ability to be able to pass the ball. Without the running game, you can see that the Eagles' offense just you can't depend with the Eagles. You can't depend on the passing game. So they're both teams are going to try to run the ball. I mean, the Eagles are a small was small underdog. They're a small underdog. It's down to 1.5, but whatever. It's just yeah. It's going to be. I don't know if it'll be a good game because of the weather, but whatever the case may be, it's the last tough game for the Eagles. Hey, after playing those two awful teams the last 2 weeks, it's about time they play somebody decent, and you get a better idea of where the Eagles are. So, anything else on your mind, Chris?
The Bills are still have a chance at the AFC East, so they got something to play for in this game as well as the Eagles. I do agree with Sirianni and the Eagles keeping N'Kobe Dean and Lane Johnson out. I do believe the big man Jalen Carter will be back in this lineup, so I think
Yeah,
that'll be a
yeah.
big
You
factor.
know what? I don't think Lane Johnson could have played. That's a tough injury. A Liz Frank injury is a tough injury, and if you give him off this week, then he's going to get off next week too because it's a nothing game. So, yeah, they were never going to play Lane Johnson. They kept on telling you 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, but they were never going to play him. So, uh,
Howard, I just wanted to add two quick things before I let you go. Is the weather is going to be a factor at Orchard Park. They're expecting rain, and as in that stadium, I've been
I've
there
said
many
that.
times. Yeah,
I've said
the
that,
rain
Chris.
and
Yeah.
the okay.
There's
Quick
over a
thoughts on
90% chance of rain
chance
throughout the game. So I'll even
and
go a
just
little deeper on your forecast there, Chris.
okay. And one thing I'm concerned about, and I brought it up with Howard Simon from the radio station, is the kicking game. Jake has had a tough stretch, and the Bills right now don't even know who their kicker is for Sunday. Matt Prater, who's been filling in for Tyler Bass, who's out for the year. So I have no idea who the Bills kicker is going to be on
You know,
Sunday.
it better not come down to the kicking game in that weather. Hey, Chris, thanks for jumping on and joining the show. Take care.
Thanks,
Have a great
Howard. You
weekend.
too.
All
You
right.
too.
Happy
Thank you.
holidays. Happy holidays. Uh, I, s- uh, I guess Chris said I have a there's a huge Eagles fan base in Canada. Yeah, I know there's an Eagles fan base all over. It's all over. It's kind of there's certain teams that have fan bases all over the country. Obviously, the Cowboys, and they suck. San Francisco, I'm surprised they really have a very good fan base. The Bills have a very good fan base, and the Eagles have a very good fan base. And I'm sure there's a few other teams. Maybe Chicago fans have gotten back on the Bears bandwagon. But whatever the case may be, a pretty good fan base. So, all right, let's take a look at the weekend football. And to help me do that, we have Marc Lawrence. Mark, welcome to the program. How are you this morning?
I'm doing just terrific, Howard. I hope Santa was good to you, and you're looking forward to the new year as well.
Well, Santa is always good uh, because we know nothing else from Santa. Nothing. He's always good. I've never gotten any call. I've never gotten any call. So, all right. So there's some interesting college football games this weekend. Help me out, and let's take a look at the college football.
Well, you've got obviously the big boys coming up here this weekend, the college football playoff, which is the four intriguing games
Right.
that are coming up, of which a lot of opinion on those games. You can break them down. Start first of all, you're looking at, I think, in a really nice matchup in Alabama and Indiana in the Rose Bowl. Maybe not the vintage Alabama team we've seen before in the past, but this is certainly a premier Indiana football team. Truth of the matter is, as well as Indiana has played, I simply cannot lay points into Alabama, these kind of points in a big, big game like this. The other side of the factor for me looking at it is what did Indiana just do? They just beat the number one undefeated team in the country coming into the bowl game to earn this position. I think Indiana has to bring their A game here. Alabama is still playing with his chip on the shoulder that they're the only three-loss team in the playoff, and Kalen DeBoer will not be outcoached very often here. I'm going to play Alabama plus the points in that game.
It looks like the coach is going to stay at Alabama. I don't know what other jobs are left. The Michigan job has been filled. Do you think that makes any difference for Alabama?
I'm sure it helps the team, those players there that he recruited, although recruiting is such a small facet of the game anymore because of this
Yeah.
NIL.
Yeah, they're just going to pay him anyway. So
Yeah,
what's the
exactly.
difference?
So whoever
Yeah.
leaves, they just buy new players. That's all. But the players that he did actually recruit and bring to the program, I'm sure that that's a big sign for them that he's devoted to them and to the team. Uh, Again, this is an Alabama that has a top pedigree team, and you just don't lay points into Alabama unless you have real good reason to do so. I don't find a lot of holes with this Indiana football team. Their defense is hellacious, and it goes with their offense, and it goes with Signetti, who just kills against the spread when every game he plays. He just puts his foot on the pedal and doesn't let up. But for the points, for where it's at right now, I have to grab those points with Alabama.
All right. There are some games. We'll get back to the games. The playoff games are next week. Today, there's some actually, well, it looks like there's good games. There's some actually good games today. Who do you like? Today being Saturday.
Well, you look at the card. I'm looking here right now, Howard. It's a pretty busy card, if you will, per se. Looking at
Yeah.
the card here this way, looking up and down the card. What jumps off to me is Penn State. You're looking at two teams that are playing today that figured to be playing perhaps in the national championship
Yeah.
game when the season began. And what have they done? They've relegated themselves down to the Pinstripe Bowl. I don't know how motivated either of these two teams are going to be. But I have to look at Penn State in this football game. I think Clemson soured as bad as any team in all of college football did this year. And there are still some things that Penn State does well. I'm going to play the points with Penn State against Clemson here. I just don't feel that they warrant Clemson a look for the condition that they're in right now. They did not play good football this year. I think they're the most disappointing team in college football this year.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Is a Pinstripe Bowl? Is that in New York? Is that where that is?
I believe it's Boston. It's up in Massachusetts, I believe.
Okay. All right. So the reason I asked that, Clemson, I don't know if they play in a lot of cold weather. It's going to be cold. It's not going to be raining today. Well, actually, I don't know. Who knows in different parts of New York? We had our snow, a little bit of snow and sleet last night, but it's still going to be cold where Penn State's used to playing in cold weather. Do you think that's a factor at all?
I don't think so. It's not like it's going to be looking for the North Pole going into this football game. They've both been there and done that before. Played in football games just like
Right.
this. So I don't think weather's going to really affect. And you're right, it is at the Bronx in New York. The football game is the Pinstripe, as
Okay.
opposed to Massachusetts. That's where it is. But it's going to be cold. There's no question about it. Both football teams surprisingly come in on little win streaks here. They've each won 3 or 4 in a row. But I don't think the weather's going to factor here. Which football team is going to be least impressive in this football game? That's the question here, because this is not an intriguing game at all. By name it is, but my goodness, they fall into the depths of college football, into the garbage can.
Okay. Anything else that you like today?
What's interesting here in this Army-Oregon game, we got our Army-UConn game. We have to talk about that a little bit. UConn has completely severed this football team as far as players are concerned, as far as coaching staff is concerned. There are more opt-outs on UConn than there are in any team in all the college football, in all the bowl games. And because of this number is gone. It's moved 6 points. They're down to a 4th string quarterback at UConn. And Army is a military team, and they have been absolutely ferocious in football games, bowl games, when they're favored military teams. It's kind of a little bit late getting to the dance, laying Army minus these points today as opposed to where they were before all of these defections happened at UConn, starting with the coaching staff. But you have to take a long look at the military. It starts with Army today and will end up with Navy, moving on down a little bit further. I think BYU has got a lot of reason to play against Georgia Tech. BYU was ranked number 12 in the season-ending college football poll, the playoff poll, and ended up getting booted out because they played in a conference championship game. And I think that's a sin for a team to be able to make their way into a
Yeah, right.
conference championship game and then get booted out because they didn't win it. It's terrible. And you're playing here against Georgia Tech, who went up against 6 other bowl teams this year and lost the yardage in all 6 bowl games. They're a little bit of a
Really?
fraud, Georgia Tech is here. I think BYU could come with everything they've got on their card this year. I like San Diego State pretty well today, but they've had some opt-outs here as well. And that's the key ugly word in college football bowl games right now is opt-outs because of these players or these coaches deciding that their career is more important to them than the team is or doing things like that. The other side of another game, you take a look here is I don't know. Missouri just lost their quarterback, Pribula. He also opted out 3 days ago. How do you leave your program 3 days before a bowl game and make the announcement then at that particular time? It's ridiculous. I would look long and hard at Virginia. They closed out real well to end the football season here this year. They were tripped up in their last game against Duke by all teams. My goodness. But I think Missouri might come a little bit flat in this game here as well. That's the Gator Bowl. I'd look at Virginia.
Well, they're all mercenaries anyway because the players opt out, whether it's to make sure that they don't get hurt going into the NFL or because they're going to go to another team getting more money. But the coaches do the same damn thing anyway.
Yes.
I mean, didn't Jim, and I know Jim Moore Jr., didn't he? He's leaving Connecticut. Is he going to coach this game or not?
No, he's not. That's part of the problem. When he left, I think he's going to UCLA. When he left, so too did the players. They all opted out. That they said that the list of players that left UConn is longer than the Epstein files. That's
well, that's pretty long. Then.
Yes, it is. That's a pretty long list.
That's a pretty. I don't think we could sit here for the next 48. Actually, 48 hours isn't enough to go through all the names on the Epstein files. But we'd never get them all in 48 hours.
No, we wouldn't.
What a country. What a country. Everybody, see, I'm going to make a point, and I was going to point it up later because I was going to criticize Charles Barkley, who, Charles and I are friends and, all that, but he makes some stupid asinine comments sometimes. He's pissed off at the NFL for scheduling games on Christmas Day because that's an NBA day. First of all, the NBA only cares about money. He says the NFL, all they care about is money. What does everybody care about? They're all the same thing. They're all just, they're give me the last, every dollar you can give me. So the NFL does it. The NBA's been doing that. NBA Cup was the biggest joke, the most disgraceful non-tournament tournament I've ever seen. They did it for money. They probably made something off it because they played in Las Vegas. So whatever it was, whatever. Charles, it's ridiculous. It's an asinine, stupid, foolish comment. They're all after money. They're all after money.
It's what it's all about. I think there's a string of between now and maybe Wednesday, 10 or 11 college football games. 10 or 11 of them are all on ESPN. It's all about the money. ESPN makes the schedule. That's what they do. But I got to say this in Charles's defense here, and I agree with you. That's all about the money. But I think what the NFL is doing is sinful from the standpoint that, number one, they're putting these games on. You have to go on the cable, or not the cable network. You have to go on streaming to watch these games.
Yeah.
So they're making a haul from the streaming companies, and then they're charging the fans to be able to watch this game. Roger Goodell is turned into Charles. Put it pretty good to me. He's a pig, and he's turning into a hog. And they're making their money. They are, but I honestly, Howard. And I've got all the streaming channels and everything. I did not watch one game on Christmas because I didn't want to have to surf the friggin' streaming networks to find out where they're on, what they're doing, and all that type of stuff. And I also think it's wrong that the NFL puts it on streaming network. If they're going to play those games on Sunday and make all that money, don't tax the people that are watching the football game. That's my point. That's my contention.
You know what? I didn't realize because I didn't watch the games either, but all those streaming services they put on, they're paid streaming services. So you have to,
That's
if
right.
you
You have
don't
to pay the
already,
streaming
you're
service.
buying them anyway. But if you haven't bought them, you got to pay for them to get them, unless you're in the two cities of the game. Then they have to put it on local television.
Right.
But that'll stop soon as well. It really is a disgrace. I made a point earlier before you came on that the NFL doesn't care about the fans. When you schedule night games in Green Bay and Chicago in the winter months, the Buffalo games at 4:30, and in Buffalo at this time of the year it's going to be colder at 4:30, and the sun's going to be down at 4:30.
For sure.
So it's not fair to the fans. You can't do anything about the weather and the inclement weather, but do you have to schedule them when it's going to be colder because it's better for television? It's a disgrace. They really are a disgrace. They really, but it's all about money. It's all about money. And the fans are never going to stop watching, and they're never going to stop going.
You know what they say, Howard? Pigs eat, but hogs get slaughtered. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, I'll have to think about that. All right. So, all right. Now let's deal. There's no other games today that you like on the card. Let's look at the playoffs. Who do you like in the playoff situation?
Well, we hit a little bit there on the Alabama, Indiana, but breaking them down, Ohio State and Miami of Florida, I think this is going to be a classic football game. I still think Miami's a tad of a fraud. They went into A&M, and I think the weather more than anything may have helped them there with the severe wind situation that they played into. They got out alive. That's good for them. But I would not want to be any team in college football playing Ohio State this week. This is the team that was number one undefeated in the country. They have a stonewall defense. They allow 212 yards a game, 8.1 points a game. And Miami of Florida, I think, will be exposed in this football game. The Buckeyes are going to be coming with everything they've got. My personal opinion, I don't lay points many times, but I don't want to take the points with Miami. I think they'll be exposed there.
Okay.
The other game is Oregon and Texas Tech. I think that's going to be a must-watch television football game in the Orange Bowl here tonight. Texas Tech, they are 11-0 straight up and against the spread this season, Howard, when the starting quarterback is behind center. The only game they lost is the game he was out and injured in. This football team is for real, Texas Tech is. They score, they stop you defensively. They have the number one rush defense in all of college football. If you can stop the other team from running the football, you control the game. And I think they made a mistake by making Oregon the favorite in this contest here. I think Texas Tech wins and continues and makes their big move on. The last game is Georgia and Ole Miss. It's a Southeast Conference matchup, which is really intriguing, in the Sugar Bowl, no less, which is a Southeast Conference bowl game. But I have to give some kudos to Ole Miss here. What they did against Tulane was very, very impressive. To win like that, everybody thought, and I was one of them, that this team would be beginning to come apart at the threads with the Lane Kiffin situation being what it was. Tulane had all the reason in the world to play in the game. They were slaughtered earlier by Ole Miss, but they got slaughtered again by Ole Miss. This Ole Miss football team looks to be for real, and I think playing them against Georgia, again, another Southeast Conference battle between two teams that know one another, I got to grab the points with Ole Miss here.
You mean it wasn't Lane Kiffin being the genius that he is to get them to where they were? Wasn't Lane? Oh, I mean, it was the money that they paid to get good players. Probably is a better reason.
Lane Kiffin, the Benedict Arnold of college football head coach.
I will root against him every game that he coaches for the rest of his life because he's a fraud. Might be a good coach, but I don't know what the contract calls for when he hit his news guy. I don't know what I'm getting paid. Oh, you don't? Then how come it was the top of everybody, of every team that they get out of here? And give me a break. So and then there's nothing else in the playoff situation. But you talked about military teams. Next week, it's on Friday, Navy and Cincinnati. Who would have thought that Navy would have been a favorite against Cincinnati? But they're a big favorite.
They're a big favorite. Number one, because the word is out on the military teams and how well they do successfully in bowl games. They just slaughter the spread in bowl games. They're a football team that is disciplined. They run the ball, but the big thing for Cincinnati is their quarterback just opted out. Okay, Sorsby for Cincinnati is out there starting quarterback. another more garbage of people opting out right at the last minute to get out of bowl games, and hence the numbers growing on Navy here again. But I can't step in front of military teams in bowl games. You have to lay it or don't play it.
Okay. Is there a trend that underdogs or favorites are better in these games, or that doesn't play as well anymore?
You know what's happened here is these used to always be New Year's Day games were the major bowl games, and New Year's Eve even, and everything else before was a minor bowl game. Teams from smaller conferences. Well, that's
Yep.
all out the window right now. It's all because of this what we talked about to begin this segment here about money, contract, ESPN, television, so forth and whatnot. And you break it down into, okay, how do coaches do in bowl games? Well, some coaches do well and some don't. But now we've got coaches leaving the football programs here. It's such an ugly, chaotic mess. It's unbelievable. I would love to see the NCAA step in and do something here because it's the wild, wild west out there right now. And all I can do is handicap these games one at a time. Yeah, do your work, find out who's playing and who's not. But more importantly, who wants to be in the bowl game and who doesn't.
Yeah, but Mark, the NCAA has no control anymore.
No,
I mean,
don't.
they
That's the
think they
problem.
think they have control. I mean, who did they just penalize? It wasn't even a severe. Was it Michigan that didn't get a severe penalty for all the cheating that they did?
Yes, yeah, with the Harbaugh situation.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Mr. Nice Guy. I love his brother, but I don't know that I like Jim that much. I don't. I'm not. They're two opposites. John is such a great guy. Jim might be a great guy. I don't know him well enough, but you know, he had nothing to do with the cheating. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So to get back, and I don't know if you answered the question. Do favorites or underdogs? Is there a side that trend wise is better?
Not on the blind. To say just play the dogs or play the favorites, you can't do it blindly. You have to have some reason or logic behind it. I will say this: if you're going to play an underdog with some momentum, teams that are coming in on wins, don't play them off losses because they're most likely disappointed. But if you want to play against favorites, play against those that are off losses because they too are disappointed. So, you got to kind of wallow your way through all this stuff, but nothing that stands the test of time like it used to before all of this NIL crap hit the window.
You know what? I'm just trying to think. Who do you think is more greedy? College, NFL. Well, actually, even baseball now is going to streaming services. College, NFL, or NBA? Who do you think has more greed?
Well, I think it's the king of all sports. That's the National Football League. It's Roger
Yeah.
Goodell and everything that they do. They rule the roost. The NBA, you mentioned the NBA Cup. That is a farce. That's strictly just marketing. Is all that is. Who cares or who will even remember that the New York Knicks won the NBA Cup this year?
Big deal. Yeah.
Yeah, and what does that matter? To win the NBA Cup, all it is just keeping people glued to the television for whatever sinister reason they made up a manufactured tournament. It's ridiculous.
And then the worst thing is they penalized them because they played 3 games in 4 nights coming off that NBA Cup. Boy, what a treat. You win the
On top of
NBA
it,
Cup
yeah.
and you play 3 games in 4 nights,
Because
which
they don't
teams,
care, Howard.
yeah, teams almost never win that third game
No.
in 4 nights. All right, let's go to the NFL, which, again, there's NFL games today. So who do you like there?
I'm going to play against 2 teams that come off of huge overtime wins last week, and they've got bigger, better games on deck next week, and I think they can be exposed this week. But first, I'm going to fade Seattle, coming off their big overtime win against the Rams, and that was a classic football game, to say the least. What jumps out to me here is the fact that Seattle lost the yardage 166 yards in the game, but yet still beat the Rams in the contest. You've got Carolina fighting for their lives right now. Right now, if the season started today, they'd be the number 4 seed in the NFC. They want to hold that spot over the Rams. They've won their last 2 home games as Carolina. They beat Tampa Bay at home last week. They beat the Rams before that in 2 home games in a row. So Carolina's playing some pretty good football. I think Seattle could get caught napping in this game. I like them, Carolina plus the 7.
Okay, who else do you like?
The other guy, I'm going to lay some points here with San Francisco and fade the Chicago Bears, who again are off a classic overtime win. That was a heck of a football game, the way they came back and beat the Packers in that contest. But they too, Howard, were out-yarded by 165 yards in that victory. I've never seen anything like that. You win games like that, and you get murdered in the stats like these two football teams did. Now, and they've got, what do they got? They're between Green Bay and Detroit coming in this contest are the Chicago Bears. You've got also in the game here, San Francisco is on a streak that I think real quietly people don't realize is this team is rolling here right now, Howard. They won 5 in a row
Unbelievable.
straight up, and against the
Unbelievable.
spread is San Francisco here. You got to watch out for this team because if they do what they do, they can win out. They can win the top seed in the NFC, and that's San Francisco's goal at this particular moment.
And I think Seattle and the Rams are better than San Francisco.
And they are.
but
They are.
yeah.
True. But you got a real nice coach there in Kyle Shanahan who finds ways to win football games, even when he doesn't have players, when he's beat up and banged up right now. And he's not that way right now as we speak. So I think San Francisco's a real sleeper team to watch in the NFL playoffs.
Well, the Patriots like Kyle Shanahan because when he was the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, he was stupid enough to try to pass the ball when he got to the first down on the 21, kick a field goal, go up 11 with about 7 minutes to go.
True.
No, he's got to pass the ball. So he gave the Patriots got 2 of their Super Bowl wins by gifts. Pete Carroll didn't run the ball and allowed Russell Wilson to throw, not good in the red zone, throw a pass, which was intercepted. And then they had Kyle Shanahan gift them that Super Bowl as well. So
he gift wrapped it. Yeah.
So whatever. I just had to get my shot in on Kyle Shanahan because I was disappointed that Matt Ryan, who's a great guy, didn't, and that was his only chance he was ever going to win a Super Bowl. All right. Who else do you like in the pros? Do you like anybody else?
Well, the card's a little bit not all that intriguing, that deep. I think you have to take a long look at the Houston Texans that are playing some pretty good football right now. Number 1 defense in all the National Football League. And you got a Charger football team that has won their last 3 games in a row, all as underdogs.
It's amazing.
And they're going to dress up as a favorite in this game here. And that's a bad role change for any team in the National Football League. I think Houston warrants a look because their defense, number 1, will always keep you in the game.
All right. Here's what I don't. Why are the Packers only favored by 3 today against the Ravens? And the Ravens, again, the always injured Lamar Jackson is not going to play. How could they only be a 3-point favorite?
I think it's largely because the Packer quarterback situation isn't clear either. You've got Jordan Love on concussion protocol. Malik Willis is injured. I don't know what they do if neither of those 2 quarterbacks aren't behind center. I don't know where they're going, who the 3rd string quarterback on that team even is. And I think they're really a little bit concerned about who's going to be behind center for the Green Bay Packers. You do have Baltimore still mathematically alive for a playoff chase. It's not going to happen, especially with Tyler Huntley behind center. No. But like you say, it does look appealing to Green Bay for the small amount of points they are. But I'd be careful there because we don't know who's going to be behind center.
All right. One thing that is identified easily, the Raiders are a high school team. They stink. The fact that the Giants are 2.5-point favorites at Las Vegas tells you all you need to know about a brutal and awful Raiders football team. That is a joke.
It's garbage to garbage, Howard. And you know what they say when it's garbage to garbage? You don't take out the trash, okay? And both teams are just trash. I don't know how they're going to get any viewership. I really don't.
Oh, it's the NFL.
Yeah, I understand.
It's the NFL. It doesn't matter. They'll watch. If they put the letters NFL on it, they'll watch what do they do with pigs? Do they have fights with pigs? I don't even know. They'd watch a pig fight if they put NFL on top of it.
I understand that.
It's unbelievable. All right, let's take a look at the Eagles game. Tough. It's the only good team they'll play in the last 4 weeks of the season. Because obviously Washington's not going to play anybody next week. But and the Eagles need it a little bit. They can't get the number 1 seed. It's a miracle if they do. but they can move around a little bit. But they're going to play their starters. So who do you like in the game today between the
Well, that's
Eagles
the
and
key,
Buffalo?
Howard. They're going to play their starters, and I do like Philadelphia in this game. I can see some momentum building for the Eagles here, playing a lot better right now than I think they have at any point in the season. They love nothing better, in my mind, to at least go into the playoffs with that momentum. They might not rest and play some regulars against Washington again next week, but they're certainly, if playing these starters here this particular week, they're going to come focused in this football game here. Uh, this Buffalo rush defense is a major concern of mine. They can
Yep.
be exposed in the ground. I think it's Saquon Barkley time here for the Eagles all day long in the contest. But what jumps out to me is the fact that the last 2 years, Philadelphia has been an underdog 5 times, and they've won all 5 games outright, straight up. The Eagles have. That's what they'll be in this game here as well. I like Philadelphia to win the game.
So win the game. The points when you're talking about 1.5 points, it's really irrelevant. I
Right.
mean, but it's kind of an even game. All right. If people have interest in your services, 800-321-7777 on the internet, playbooksports.com. Mark, I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a happier New Year. It's just it kind of slows down, except for football. Work is it's probably more work during this time of the year because there's games all the time, and preparing your newsletter and everything else. It's got to be crazy.
All right, let me ask you one question here. A friend of mine told me that on your show, I think it was Wednesday, I think you said you had Joey Merlino on. You interviewed him?
Yeah, it was the best of. I've had him on before. I did 3 shows that had the best of, and he was one of the shows. Yeah,
Quite a character, isn't he?
Well, first of all, somebody made a point. The one thing he said when I asked him about all the crimes that he was accused of, they're just trying to sell newspapers. That's what he said. They're just trying. He was never guilty of, and I get along with Joey. Joey's fine. He was never guilty of anything. It was all everybody else, and he blamed the rats, and the rats who dimed him out, who got better sentences, and one of the guys got witness protection. So Joey's the best.
He's got to get somebody to write a book about him. That's what he's got to do.
Well, and now he's used that to put a cheesesteak place, and it's just and he's using his name, and obviously it's in South Philadelphia. Again, I'm not even going to get into the whole thing, but hey, listen, he's running a business. He's giving away gifts for Christmas to kids. He does things in South Philadelphia. It's just it's great, crazy. But Joey wasn't guilty of anything. He wasn't guilty of anything.
I can sleep well at night knowing that, Howard.
Yeah, I know. It just everybody's it's all bullshit. All right, Mark, you have a great New Year, and we'll talk to you again next
Howard,
week.
Happy New Year to you as well. Be well. I'll catch you next week.
All right, thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, Marc Lawrence. It's just Joey. Joey is the best. Yeah, that was. I took a segment. He wasn't guilty of this. He wasn't guilty of this. He wasn't. But that's all right. It's over. Done with. He served his time for whatever he wasn't guilty of. But there's a lot of things that I still want to talk about. Sixers lost a game last night that, well, they were favored, believe it or not, on the road. But there's a couple of things about that game that I want to point out. I do want to touch on the Phillies. And I want to say something about Travis Kelce. I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. But before we do that, I want to tell you who our winner was last week of the Oakley sunglasses, and what the deal at Ken Tissa, I guess is how you pronounce it. Ken Tissa won the Oakley sunglasses. If I remember the question correctly, Mark identified a team he thought had a good chance to win the national championship, and I think he said Texas A&M. I think he said Texas A&M has a good chance to win the national championship. But whatever, there were multiple people with the correct answer, and Mark, you were chosen at random, and you won the pair. And congratulations, winning a pair of Oakley sunglasses. We will have this week a question to win a Chickies and Pete's gift certificate. I will come up with a question. I think I've got one. And you submit your entry by Friday, January 2nd. That's 2026, obviously. We'll announce the winner Saturday on our shows on X, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Winner will be randomly chosen from all the correct entries. And good luck, and you'll have fun and enjoy the food at Chickies and Pete's. I also want to thank who sent me a text this morning, actually, and he listens to the show, our presenting sponsor, Jeff Stillwell. Stillwell Financial Advisors knows his stuff. Really knows his stuff. They can help you in a changing world of finance and money, changing world, changing United States, and changing everything. Really knows his stuff. Give him a call, 732-343-0813. All right, a couple of things I want to mention. I mentioned the Charles Barkley thing. Charles, just shut up. Just shut up. That was the NBA's day. Oh, what the NBA has an exclusive on Christmas? Yeah, for years they did. But they're about money too. They have 5 games on Christmas Day. It's whatever. And he complained that the NFL is now taking Christmas Day. And I'm sure the ratings just destroyed the NBA. Well, Charles, you didn't talk about that. Did I hear you talk about that NBA Cup, that phony, ridiculous, stupid, nothing tournament, nothing about nothing? I mean, please, the NBA Cup, it's a joke. It's a joke. That's all they care. Hey, listen, they try to do whatever they can too. But hey, listen, they want to put games on Thursday. There are games on Thursdays anyway, so they put more games on Thursdays. Yeah. Are they trying to make more money? Sure they are. But so is everybody trying to do that. And they're doing it on streaming services. The NBA it's a joke. The Sixers, by the way, played last night. Kyle Lowry has gotten a Christmas gift before the season even started. Kyle's a good guy. They signed Kyle Lowry to over a $3 million contract, and he never plays. It could be a 40-point game, and he never plays. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling that they paid. See, I think I know why they paid Kyle Lowry, because he will get in Joel Embiid's face. He will get in Joel Embiid's face if he's doing something stupid or doing something for himself and about himself. That's what Joel Embiid is. Joel Embiid had 31 points last night. Oh, that's great. He had 5 rebounds. I could stand on the court and get 5 rebounds. He's 7'2". He got 5 rebounds, had more turnovers than assists. He is at best an average player right now. It's ridiculous. Also wanted to touch base about Travis Kelce. I am so tired, beyond tired, of hearing about Travis Kelce. Will he retire? Is this his farewell? At this point, Kansas City, unfortunately for Kansas City, and they have the best coach in football, they stink. They stink. They are not a good football team. And they lost Patrick Mahomes, who probably won't be, I'd say it's iffy. I'll say it's iffy that he'll be ready at the beginning of the season with that injury that he suffered. But you've got to be kidding me. If he wasn't going out with Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce would be an afterthought. But on network news, waiting for the word from Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce knows what he's going to do. I think he's going to come back because I think he wants the attention as a football player. Now, he gets the attention because of Taylor Swift, not because of him. He's not as good a football player anymore. He's not the difference in winning and losing for Kansas City, for the Chiefs anymore. But I'm so tired of hearing about him. And he's milking it and milking it and milking it and milking it. Guards prevented the cameras from seeing him coming off the field, I think, the last game. I don't think he spoke after the last game, which you're required by the NFL to speak after the game. but he wants to make this big surprise and farewell. And is it a farewell? Is it? Just tell him what you're going to do. Just tell him what you're going to do. You know what you're going to do. But I think he'd miss it. He likes the attention every week, and he wants to be a player when he gets married. He wants to be a player because he'll get more attention. It's just, and by the way, they scheduled the wedding in the time. It's kind of the time that they have for those voluntary camps, kind of the time when they have off for those volunteers. But I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Enough, enough, enough. I know Travis Kelce. And he was a good guy. He probably still is a good guy, but he's milking this attention. He can't get enough attention. I will tell you now, I don't give a bleep whether Travis Kelce comes back next year, is the water boy next year. I don't care what he does next year during football season. I am done with Travis Kelce. Done. 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 And all you Swifties, that's all. Oh, yeah, the Swifty. Oh, is he going to play or not? I don't give a damn whether he plays. It's so ridiculous. It's bad enough that he's milking this. But what makes it worse is the networks. I'm saying the networks, which some of them aren't even good news organizations anymore. The networks are running a story, a non-story. Still hasn't announced whether he's going to retire and this is going to be his last year. I don't give a bleep. I don't give a bleep. I don't care. I will not pay attention to the wedding. I will not pay attention. And listen, I was a Swiftie. I guess was. I don't know if it's was. I mean, so extremely talented. But I'm tired of all this. I'm tired of it. It's enough already. It's enough. It's enough. Travis, just get it out there. Say whether he's going to milk it and milk it and milk it and milk it and milk it. I'm done with Travis Kelce. Done. All right. Before I talk about the Phillies, I want to tell you about a couple of fine other partners that we have on this fine show, and that would be Piazza Property Pros. Piazza Property Pros, they can make, before people even walk into your house, they can make everything look great. The front yard, the backyard. 25 years of experience tells you all you need to know. They don't subcontract. Jim Piazza's got them rocking and rolling, doing a lot of good stuff, whether it's building a pool. And, if you're thinking about it, if you're thinking about doing something with your pool, if you're thinking about it, there's no reason that you shouldn't talk to them now and schedule something if you're thinking about it. And that's the thing that you should do is talk to Piazza Property Pros, landscaping, hardscaping, whatever it is, front or back, pool maintenance. Here's a number. 610-566-2608. 610-566-2608. Check them out at the internet, piazzaoutdoor.com. All right. And it's coming up to the end of the month. And because of that, Audi Westchester only has a few days left of this incredible deal. The new remodeled 2025 A5, 1.99% financing up to 72 months. The all-new 2025 Q5 SUV, 1.99% financing up to 72 months. Audi Westchester, 1421 Wilmington Pike. Great deals, great selection of vehicles. Stop in, grab a cup of coffee, grab some snacks. I don't know. It's always fun looking at new cars. Give them a shout. Like I said, 1421 Wilmington Pike. Check them out on the internet, AudiWestchester.com. All right. I see a comment here from Steve W. Travis can take Jason with him. Sick of his big mouth too. You know what? They're both really good people, but they've gone over the top. They've gone over the top. It's just really crazy. I see somebody put in here. Angelo's is really good too. You're talking about cheesesteaks. Angelo's is great. Angelo's got great cheesesteaks too. So, but whatever. It's yeah, Joey. They both have great cheesesteaks. I see Tom Russo. The NBA is a joke. So are the Sixers signing people that don't belong in the NBA anymore. Embiid is laughing all the way to the bank for a couple more years. Travis needs to go away and hold his wife's microphone. I don't know about that. Uh, uh, and then another person. I'm a crab fry guy. Uh, well, all right, that's good. Let me see if there's any other comments. Yeah, the Pistons are good this year. I see somebody here. Um, Pistons biggest story of the NBA at this point. I don't know if they're the biggest story. San Antonio is pretty big. San Antonio is really good. That first pick. Now there's a guy that does everything on the court. Everything. Wemby does everything. Sixers are 0-4 with Embiid and Maxey on the floor. Now, are they 0-4 with both of them on the floor at the same time? Well, the team is a farce, and we know that. Um, by the way, so Marc Lawrence said it was Texas Tech. I forget who he said for the winner. I didn't have it written down, but whatever the case may be, we got our winner for the Oakley sunglasses, and I will give you a question in a minute or so to win the Chickies and Pete's gift certificate. So let me see if there's anything else that I want to jump in. Yeah, the Pistons are legitimate. 24-7, is that their record? Yeah, Joey's cheesesteaks are good. Yeah, I see another comment here. It's just, but all right, let me tell you about the Phillies. And I don't know what your thoughts are. JT Realmuto still hasn't signed. He wants 3 years, and the Phillies don't want to give him 3 years. And he wants more money than they want to give him too. JT Realmuto, oh, it's not about money. I remember saying it. He said at the end of the season, it's not about money. Sure, it's about money. It's your last contract. JT Realmuto will be 35 in March. He's a catcher. He's had injury issues the last few years. There's no way. First of all, I don't think it matters if they sign JT Realmuto. I don't really think it's a big deal if they sign him. You got Marchand as a good defensive catcher. JT Realmuto's offense has gone down, but the Phillies have really done nothing to get excitement out of the fans this offseason. And the Mets I think the Mets are laying in the weeds. I think they're laying in the weeds, and they're going to do something big. But we'll see. I don't know about you, but I'm not excited about what the Phillies did in this offseason. And I think they're still a team that's not good enough to win a World Series. They'll win 90 games, maybe, and they'll lose in the playoffs. That's just the way it is. I see a comment here from Brian Connolly. Let him walk, get a young catcher. Yeah, I think that's what they ought to try to do. Realmuto's good with the pitchers. You know, the pitching coach is calling most of the pitches anyway. He's not worth 3 years, and he's not worth more money. He's not worth it. I wouldn't give him 2 years, but they're willing to give him 2 years. So I don't know what they're going to do. All right, here's the question to win the Chickies and Pete's gift certificate. It's just where is it? I have it. Okay. I asked Mark which league he thought was more greedy. Greedy. That doesn't mean they make more money. Which league is more greedy? Which league of the major professional sports leagues is more greedy? Give me the answer. Submit it to my website by next Friday at midnight, and I'll give you the winner on Saturday. can watch me live. You can watch me live on X, Twitter, which same thing, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube, and they'll notify you. But if you ask for notifications, you get notified on Twitter as well. And also, that's audio visual. Also on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon Music. It's the audio of the Howard Eskin Show, and you can be riding with the king. Thanks to everybody, and thank you. Oh, by the way, I will post my picks on my social media sites. I will post my picks, and your donations. Remember, your donations go to Brandywine Valley SPCA. Good time of the year to make donations to these people. Every time's a good time of the year. They host a lot of events. They try to do a lot of things to find the dogs and the cats' homes, and also Providence Animal Center. They benefit from your donations as well when you make donations for my picks. And my picks will be posted if they're not posted already. And so, again, you're doing it for a good cause. I had 2 winners last night in college football. So we'll see what happens today. But the picks will be posted on my site. And by the way, if for some reason you don't get the picks once you make the donation, send an email to my website and we'll send the picks out to you. Sometimes the software of the company that we're using doesn't always send the email out, or recently they haven't sent the email out. So if you have a if you have a problem, just send your that you haven't gotten them, and we'll send it out to you. By the way, the pics are posted up on my social media platforms. Thanks. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. Hope you got some good things. And in memory, as you see, I'm wearing my hoodie commemorating my doggies that I've lost, and their picture is back there. They're all sitting there. They're a part of the Howard Eskin Show now, and they will always be a part of the Howard Eskin Show. And thanks to Joe Gangemi for working on this holiday weekend. Thanks to Tony Anastasia for all the great graphics and work she does on the website. Hope she gets well soon. And thanks to you, and you. Thanks to all of you for being a part of the Howard Eskin Show. And to everybody, New Year's resolutions, maybe we ought to do that next week. Wednesday night will be another best of show. Hope you enjoyed the last one. Wednesday will be another best of show. And hope you have a happy New Year. New Year's resolution. Does anybody ever keep New Year's resolutions? No, you make them and you don't keep them. Oh yeah, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do. No, you don't. Hey, Brian, thanks. Brian said, great show. I just try to have fun, and I try to have fun with you, and hopefully you have fun with me. Thanks for riding with the King, and thanks for joining the Howard Eskin Show. Happy New Year, everybody.